afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacaster demo with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today we're talking about bulletins. Yes, indeed. Lovely, lovely bulletins. An interesting feature in the sense that was sort of added with companies too initially. The thing is, though, the way it was designed was rather weird. It was designed to be there, but not really have any sort of noticeable impact, which basically begs the question, why was it added in the first place? Like, a feature that's there to really do nothing just seems really weird. And obviously, as people later find out, if you just stack the bullets and this, duplicates, you could actually get an effect out of them. You could essentially still try and sort of stack them together to get some kind of effect, just different types of bulletins. But even then, it's just sort of, a strange idea to have. And Dawn of Fear, apparently, they decided to, make them slightly more impactful. Of course, the rest of the game was kind of trashy, so I can't really tell you how bulletins turned out there, but at least they were sort of slightly bigger with a bit more impact. I think slightly different abilities and bigger bonuses, stuff like that essentially, but certainly something with a bit more oomph than this in most cases. And that still sort of begs the question, well, what to do with bulletins? Say go for Companies 3, what to do with them? Like, one option of course is just do away with them. I mean, they really didn't do anything. Company Who's One didn't have them. Why need them in Companies 3? Considering the weird offshoot that didn't work out, done. That's one way to deal with it. That's one way. Then we have the sort of second option, which is we go, well, we obviously want them to have an impact. I mean, again, we could also say we could just do just like Companies 2, but I don't think that's going to make much sense. So the other option beyond that is just, all right, we then have sort of two paths we can then take bulletin in. One is we just sort of have them, change stuff out. A bit like how you could sort of change stuff out, like in Companies 1 with Tales of Valor, you could sort of switch things out. Here, there'll be just, switching out upgrades or abilities maybe on some units. Maybe you can sort of switch out certain vehicles, using different bulletins. For example, like, you would get a bulletin so it can use, can get the LMG 34 instead of 42. 45%, or it's, slightly cheap, but also slightly less impactful, so it can get out more machine guns and get them out faster. That could sort of, be a trade-off there. Or you could change out, veterans abilities. Instead of, I don't know, mines for the third conscripts, they might get access to, I don't know, stolen Panzerfausts. Or they could, get grenades instead of the Molotovs as an upgrade. Of course, the grenades would be more expensive. So that way you can sort of do all these sort of trade-offs. You can have, like, a bulletin where the 2-2 gets replaced by, I don't know, the French Hotkiss tanks, captured Panzer. More expensive, obviously. Perhaps not so quite as good as the other Allied light tanks, but certainly more impactful. Again, it would be a choice. And of course, this would also assume the 2-2 is more useful than it is now, but it's an option. It's a direction to take the game in. It could all be things like that as well. Thus, giving players some more choice, making the bulletins feel more impactful, and rather doing rather just, stat bonuses, which again, like, well, 5% or what, right? I mean, most people don't have access to most of the stats, and in a lot of these cases, I mean, they just become further redundant because, well, 6% of what? 5% of what? 3% of what? Rather than just having it be more substantial, alright, I don't get, 3% bonus to my, or 4% bonus to my 2 sacks. I just get to switch it out with a light tank, or, my gun is stuff, 5% fast machine shot, but they get an LMG 34, which is cheaper, not quite as, powerful as the LMG 42, but it has an impact faster, can get more of them faster. That way, again, there are trade-offs and decisions to make. That would certainly make the bulletins, more impactful that way. The other one just make them the more side grades, in the sense, like, trade-offs. So, it could be like, your Stug gets a higher rate of fire bonus, but on the other hand, because it's stocking more munitions, we say that's what it does, stock more munitions, it becomes more likely to die because, more munitions also means it's more likely to blow up, it gets hit. So that could also be a way of doing it, just, making these sort of trade-offs instead. So, like, your conscripts, could be cheaper or faster to train as well, just bigger bonus, but on the other hand, they might suffer some other issues with reinforcements, could be, slower to happen, or they could be more expensive, call it Vanguard, like, they're faster on the field, but then getting the reinforcement to keep it up, you run into some issues there, so that could, way to, balance that one out, for example, or, your machine guns might get some other bonus, but again, they suffer for it. So that could be another way, just to doing these sort of percentages, but again doing them big and occasionally with some downsides to them, so there's more of a trade-off that way. So that's sort of essentially how you can sort of see, the different ways you can do with bulletins. A, don't do them at all. B, do them like Companies 2, which I don't think is a good idea. 3, change them into something more impactful, I'll be just saying you're being trade-offs directly. or just trying to make the sort of more upgrade, downgrade, sort of more side grades, so again, the sort of more trade-offs that way as well. But just changing out abilities units, or just more stat stuff. Those are also the major branches in how to deal with bulletins. I mean, again, overall, companies too, they really haven't done a lot, and I'd like to see them do more. Or don't be there at all, because honestly, if you're just gonna have to do something that's not gonna really do something, I feel like you can just put your effort better to use elsewhere. Expend the resources elsewhere much more efficiently than this. So that's sort of my opinion there. What do you think? Do you agree? What would you like to see happen with bulletins in the future, company? Here's what do you think of bulletins now? Let me know in the comments. This is Imperial Lane saying cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience, and if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. Cheers, everybody.